Capricorn, welcome to your reading. So before I get into your reading, just a quick explanation like I always do of the way that I read energy, not gender. That means that anyone can show up as a king, queen, prince, princess, knight, page, emperor, empress. It's all about if you're in your masculine or feminine energy. Masculine energy gives and it takes action. Feminine energy receives and it's nurturing. So we all have both masculine and feminine energy. We all give and take at different times. We all nurture and take action at different times. So it's more about what energy that you're in concerning this particular situation that we're reading about today. I'll read this as a love story. That doesn't necessarily mean that it is a love story. This can apply to friends, family, coworkers, career, business decisions, real estate, even politics as of late. So energy is fluid in these readings, so get in where you fit in. If I say Capricorn and that's not your role in the situation, just know that the energy is flipped and listen to the reading from that perspective. Anything else? If this resonates with you and you'd like to schedule a personal reading with me, you could do that at thislittlelighealing.com. And with that, let's go ahead and get into your energy. So our story starts with a king and a queen, and they're parting ways at some point. So I don't know if this is recent or a long time ago or what the situation is, but this king and queen, I think that they were both not in a good place when they parted ways, that neither one of them was stable. So when they parted ways, I'm going to say the queen, but the feminine energy, it can definitely be a man, just a man that's in his more nurturing energy. But this feminine energy was very inspired to pray for healing. And as she prayed for that healing, that prayer was answered. And she's been going through a healing process. When I asked what her inspiration was for it, I thought maybe I would get this king would pop up. But really what came up was she was tired of being sad, and she was tired of, I don't know if it was depression or what it was, but she hadn't had happiness in her relationships, and she was beginning to understand that the common denominator was her. And so she asked God to heal her. And that's what's been happening during that time. And as she's gone through that process, she's become wiser, she's become more mature, she's become happier during that time. This man still thinks about this woman, and I think for some of you, he still has feelings for her, but there's still an energetic attachment. I don't think these two are together physically. But this masculine is still dealing with a great deal of imbalance in his life. The masculine instead focused on very worldly things. In particular, I think partying is an issue. Very lusty behaviors. Not that there's anything wrong with sex, but putting lustful connections above spiritual or emotional type of connections, and then you add alcohol into the mix and whatever else in there, and you're probably not going to have the very best foundation for a relationship, right? But our king, our masculine, just kind of really indulging in things that aren't for his highest good. And it's continuing to keep him very imbalanced. And doing it in such a stubborn way that it's to his own detriment. That there's literally parts of himself, emotionally and spiritually, that he's allowing to die. And it doesn't matter. I don't even know that there's any person in particular that's telling him that he needs to do things differently. I think it's himself. I think that he knows personally, and he is just choosing to ignore those spiritual promptings, that he just won't do it, and he's just creating more and more of a burden for himself. And as he rejects spirit, it's probably spirit talking to him too, as he rejects spirit's prompting to bring this balance into his life, he's making himself more vulnerable to being tricked, being taken advantage of. People having fake people around him, having people take from him, fool him. And even if he's aware of it, he's become very complacent about it. Like there's a lack of self-love here because this masculine is just refusing to bring this balance into his life. So I've asked in the last few readings, and it's something I really want to do. I don't want these readings to just, I want it to be important. I want it to teach. And so I asked, what was an aspect of the lesson of this situation? Like, why does this have to happen? Because all things have meaning, right? And what I got was peace and honesty and balance. Scorpio got balance too. So you might have Scorpio in your chart, and there were some other similarities here as well. But we bring balance into our lives we bring balance and peace into our lives when we're honest with ourselves. That's how this happens, and that's something that maybe this masculine hasn't been doing. So here we are. Let's get into the story. So I asked what the situation is. I've been pulling your cards as we go. And the first thing I ask is, how are you feeling? And what I got here was the Hierophant in reverse. This is Taurus energy. The Knight of Swords, Gemini energy, and Justice, Libra energy, all coming out together. The Hierophant in reverse is a lack of commitment. So this could have been a lack of commitment to this feminine energy, a lack of commitment to healing himself, a lack of commitment, whatever it is, but that he realizes that we need balance. Justice is all about balance also. That it looks like the mood for you, Capricorn, is to head back to bring balance to this situation where there isn't any. And then when I asked what the situation is, it's you. This King of Swords energy is you. It's Aquarius energy too, so you might have Aquarius in your chart or be dealing with one. But I believe this is, for most of you, this is your energy. It might be other person's. But making a decision about love. That whatever this is, this rush back to correct this, to bring balance to it, is you making a decision about love. So I asked what the obstacle is, and we got the Two of Swords, Death in reverse, and the Knight of Cups. And Two of Swords is Libra energy. Oh, let me go back to these real quick. We have Aquarius energy and Gemini energy here. But this is being blocked from making an offer. And this offer could be love, it could be an apology, it could be it's some sort of peace offering. It doesn't necessarily have to be about getting back together. It could be just healing a situation or whatever it is. But for a lot of you, I suspect it's love. But then we have death in reverse. So something that, for all intents and purposes, was thought to be over isn't, but you feel blocked from being able to go back to that situation that isn't over and make an offer. So I want to know here, who is it that you're making a decision about? Who is Capricorn making this decision about concerning love? It could just be you deciding whether or not you want to extend love to a Gemini, which I always recommend. Yeah. So the first card that dropped out was the Eight of Swords, Gemini energy, which is being trapped in your head. And then Strength wanted to jump out too, Leo energy. making a decision about love and having the strength to speak on it, because Eight of Swords doesn't speak. Yeah, and then we have that communication, that offer over here. So yeah, that's just repeating that same message. So if that's the case here, if we have being blocked from being able to go back to this unfinished situation and make an offer, what is the energy to embrace to overcome that obstacle? If you can hear that, it's a train. I live in a little town with a train, and train tracks aren't too far, and I get used to it, but I know in other videos I've heard it in the background. So what is the energy for Capricorn to embrace to overcome this obstacle? Yeah, Capricorn, it looks like you've really gotten very sort of set in your ways, and that it's cost you. Whoa. What is the energy to embrace to overcome this obstacle? Nine of Wands and Two of Cups. To continue to try for this connection. What is the energy for Capricorn to embrace? Here, let's use a different deck to get the energy to embrace. Let's feel all the cards. What is the energy for Capricorn to embrace to overcome this obstacle? The obstacle is feeling blocked, wanting to go back and make an offer. What is the energy for Capricorn to overcome this obstacle? The energy to embrace to overcome this obstacle, please. Ace of Wands and Seven of Cups. Ace of Wands is a new beginning. Seven of Cups is options or choices. Tell me more about the energy to overcome this obstacle, please. Eight of Wands, communication and Judgment. Yeah, bottom of the deck, Four of Wands. Wanting to come back to a situation that looked like it was over, that you've been blocked from. Make an offer of love and let them know you want a new beginning. This is choices. So new beginning with the choice that you want to communicate about the choice that you made. That you made a choice. So maybe they're just not coming out in the order. Okay. Communicating about wanting a passionate new beginning because you've made a decision about what it is that you want, what choice you want to make. All right, got it. These came out in a mixed up order, so. All right, well, let's see what happens when you do that, Capricorn. What is the potential outcome for Capricorn when they communicate about this choice and wanting a new beginning? You don't really know how this feminine feels, but I guess we're gonna see. What is the potential outcome for Capricorn when they communicate about wanting this passionate new beginning? psychic abilities, and passion. I mean, psychic abilities is one thing. This might be a knowing that the other person feels the same way too. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have forgiveness. However it works out, whether it's reconciled or just healed or whatever the situation is for you, it looks like it's a good outcome for you. So I would, I would recommend, it says psychic abilities on here, but look at her third eye. That's what's really getting me, drawing my attention. So let's ignore the psychic abilities part and this knowing that there's still passion there and forgiveness. Okay. There we go, Capricorn. I hope this was helpful. If this reading resonated with you and you'd like to schedule a personal reading, you can do that at my website, which is thislittlelighealing.com. Thanks, Cappy.